Subtle. Sawadee Krap. Welcome to the Think Pink Podcast, Ep.7. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, not friend, known each other pretty much most of our lives. Somehow both ended up in Muay Thai, and now we're sitting here in a Ballina hotel room recording a podcast episode together. This is my good friend Spiro Darzanos. How are you, brother?
How are you, my man?
I'm good, man. This is wicked. So I'm going to start from the start. We went to primary school together. He was in my brother's year. I never really liked him much. But it was, I'm guessing it was just because, like, you know, you were the older guy and you were like part of the cool crowd because you played footy and shit, and gun football player. Let's go to that. So Lockleys North, I think you and my brother were in the same footy team.
Yep.
A few years, I reckon.
Yep.
Man, like, obviously, we're not only children, we've got siblings that all went to the same primary school and that. Do you remember me in primary school? You would do, right? Vaguely.
You were in my brother's year?
I was a year below Kerry, yeah. Yeah, I was in between your two siblings, okay.
Yeah, no, only vaguely. It was more so your brother that was in our year.
Yeah, for sure. So then you went on to Underdale, and then footy was life. Let's go through that. Obviously started in primary school with footy and kept on going. Was it a love? Were you in love with it?
Yeah, look, I guess the longest memory I remember, 8 years old, probably playing at primary school.
Yep.
It was. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
That was all my brother and I did. Yeah, and we were pretty good at it, both of us, and just followed on from there and stuck at it, and followed on through high school, and then.
So how did you end up? Because you played SANFL, which is like pretty high level, or as high as you can get within the state. How did that come about?
I think I just fell into it. I was just playing through high school.
Yep.
And then I think we had Sepsazes as well, which was like the best kids in the area, who would then congregate and meet together to compete against country teams.
Yep. You would have been Rhett Bigland's age, right?
Nah.
Oh no, he would have been a year above you.
Yeah, he was a
year
bit
older. Yeah. And then Kenny McGregor would have been a year below you. Who did he play for SANFL?
The Eagles as well.
Oh,
so
it was.
We played together.
That's right. Yes, I do remember, because I used to go to all the Eagles games. Yes. He didn't know until years later that Eagles, like the team he played for in the SANFL was the team that I sort of supported growing up.
Yeah, the Woodville West Torrens Eagles. Yeah.
And man, from back in the day of West Torrens Eagles before they amalgamated and shit.
Right.
Yeah, man, over Febby Oval. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So even back then, I was like, my family were kind of like Eagles supporters and shit. Obviously, I'm not a footy guy anymore, but yeah. So I went to school. Obviously, Henley High was full of AFL guys. And then there was Brian Lake and fucking Nathan Bock. All those guys. Yeah, Nathan's a good boy. Brian's a wanker. Always was. So obviously, tell us about what happened. Why footy ended for you?
All right. Yeah. So I was playing some high level footy from the age of 17, and carried that on through probably to the age of 26. Just had a really bad knee injury 1 year. It was more toward the end of the career, and just couldn't recover after that injury, and then it gave it away. Because
you were knocking on the door of Adelaide Crows, right?
Yeah. I still remember opening up an envelope from the Adelaide Crows, just saying, we've been looking at you, keep at it. You possibly will get drafted. And that year, I think there was 4 of us from the Eagles who were going to get drafted. It was Matty Pavlich, who went to Freeland.
Yeah.
Robert Shirley, who went to the Crows. Matty Whelan, who went to Melbourne, and there was myself. And all 3 got drafted that year, and that was the year I did my knee during the final series, so my knee blew out, and that ended it pretty much.
What year was that? That was
The year 2000. That was the first year we made the SNFL Grand Final with Central District.
I was there with Corey, and you were there not playing.
No, that's right.
I remember that was the first time I spoke to you since like school. Yeah. It was like a brief hello. Like we were sitting right where you guys were, like out, like you were standing or something. I don't know. I can't remember now, but it was obviously at Amy Stadium back then.
Yes, Amy Stadium.
Yeah, I haven't been a footy fan for most of my life, but I like live sports.
Yeah.
So being a Eagles supporter growing up, I kind of just kept on going to the grand finals over the years, just for the sake of going.
Yeah.
I'd always followed what Eagles were doing and shit, and now I live right near the Eagles' home ground, so I still go there, like just for the sake of it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but everyone still remembers you, like all the old fuddy duddies that are still there. They're like with their little blankets over their knees and stuff.
Look, they were good times.
Yeah.
You know, the oldies were there. They always knew your name.
Yeah.
They were good times.
Man, that's the thing. It's because at that level, it's still very personal. You know, it's still the any old Joe blogs can get to know the player.
Yeah.
It's cool, right? Yeah. It's kind of like what's good about our sport now.
It's the same but different.
Yeah, because you can touch the champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not out of reach.
Yeah.
So let's go to how. Obviously, I know this story about how you started doing Muay Thai or more of kickboxing. Yep. So let's explain how that all started for you.
Okay. We could probably go back as far as when I was probably 13 or 14. I had a cousin who brought over some Thai pads to my house, and you know that was the first time I was introduced to, I guess, the Thai pads and Muay Thai or kickboxing. And I don't know. I still don't know. You know, is it a nature nurture thing? You know, are you born into it, or do you like? It's a real hard one. I still can't explain why I love it. Fighting, I've always fought on the field of footy. I was always fighting. I was the smallest dude, but
little man syndrome. Little man. But the thing is, we're all somewhat fuck ups in this sport, right? There's something missing that makes us love this sport.
Yeah.
That's what I've always thought. You know, it's like. The silver spooners don't really often get very, very far in this sport because they don't know what challenge is.
Yes.
And obviously you had like strict ethnic parents growing up and stuff, and I had pretty strict parents, and you know, I didn't have. I look back at it now that I appreciate what my childhood was, but at the time I hated it. So I probably had that self-loathing that came with it, and kind of why I stepped into doing Muay Thai. But it's also like the challenges, I think unlike any other sport, the challenges, like, you know, you're playing footy and you've got a team backing you up if you're having a bad day, and you don't have that privilege as a fighter.
No.
And I think that's why we fall in love with it, because it's just so difficult to, you have to own your shit.
Yeah.
So 13, whatever, you've hit some Thai pads from a cousin.
Yep.
Where'd you go from there?
Yeah, so I also had another cousin who was an official ISKA official at the time as well. So he'd be always at all the fight shows, and he married into my family.
Yep.
And just from then on, he introduced me to John Chanyotis, the old school, and Steve Peach from the J&A days.
Yep. I still catch up. They still come to my gym, man. They drop into my gym because John brings his guys to clinch on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
One of his boys is coming to Thailand with me in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And Steve usually comes to the interclubs, and sometimes we'll drop in on a Tuesday night as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. So now, that was 25 years ago. So I was 17. So at that time, I was training a couple of times with John and Steve, but I also had my AFL career that I was just getting into, and I couldn't do both. So I had to pick one.
Yep.
And so I picked the AFL, obviously.
Yep.
And then, I still went, during my AFL career, I was still going to all the Knees of Furies, all the fight shows in Adelaide.
Yep.
So I always knew who the fighters were. I was always comparing myself to them. I was always like, I could beat that bloke if I wanted to fight. Like I was very competitive. So again, that was always inbuilt in me as well. And no doubt the SNFL career also instilled that in me as well, which then carried on to the Muay Thai. But then...
but it also makes you a team player, which means you can be in a gym full of other people and it's not like me, I. It's us.
Yeah.
I think it's so important because at the end of the day, when you're in that fight, this is what makes the sport different. When you're in that fight, you're alone.
Yes.
But when you're not, you're part of a team.
Yeah.
And without everyone else there, you're no one.
Yeah.
And without you there, they're kind of no one, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's that crossover. That's another thing that is so good about this sport. The fact that you need to be a team player, but you also need to be a lone soldier as well, you know?
Yeah, and I heard you did a podcast with Benetti the other day.
Yep.
Because I was the smallest, I needed to be have those extra attributes which set me apart. So I was really good at the 1%ers.
Yep.
And in Muay Thai as well, those 1%ers is what's going to get you to become a better, or not from a good to a great fighter. You know?
Yep.
We were talking about that about Manoli.
Yep.
You know, those extra little bits.
Yeah, and that extra bit of commitment as well, you know, like it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what year did you start Muay Thai? Like when did you kickboxing?
So I retired from AFL around 27.
Yep.
And probably 28. I went to Michael Burton S13 gym at St.
Yeah, but I still got a photo of us there when I came back from back from Thailand in 2011. I came and trained with you guys. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so that was it, man. And back then, it's not as easy as saying you want to fight and then you're fighting 3 months later. It was like, I remember doing a solid year of training 5 days a week. I still remember. It was almost like 6 days a week. And my first fight was against Lex Hanegraaff, so everyone from Adelaide.
Oh, I forgot that, hey.
Lex went on to do good things.
Yeah, IFMA and stuff as well.
It was tough too, but I remember coming away with the win on that one. But, you know...
I mean, you beat some people that on paper you should never have beaten. Another one was Joel.
Joel, yeah.
Because Jordan fought Joel as well.
Joel Zulian.
Yeah, Jordan fought Joel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
I was there for that. I was standing on the stage at Don Polsky when you fought him.
Yeah.
And I thought you didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And then you did it.
Yeah.
And
someone's phone's going on. Just turn that off,
Then you did it, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was a tough fight.
Yeah, for sure. Because really good fight IQ and stuff. And
definitely. I remember that one actually.
I remember what you were wearing. I remember what shorts you were wearing.
I still remember I should have done some research on him because he came in, he was a really good clincher. So I was doing some training in Thailand.
Yep.
But I was fighting under Red Star then.
That's right. Yeah.
One fight with Simon.
Yep.
But yeah, man. 28 I started.
Yep.
And 29, 30 I had my first fight.
Yeah. So how many did you have in total?
8.
8? Okay. Man, it feels like you had so much more, eh?
Yeah, I wish I did.
Obviously you had your 2 in Thailand as well, right?
Yeah, so what happened was I went to university at 30. So I went to do my nursing degree.
Yep.
So it was full time. And I wanted to fight more, but I just couldn't because of the exams.
Yep.
And so I fought pretty much every summer for those next 4 years.
Yep.
Because that's when we had our break. So again, it's that, you know, do I fight, you know, and build up a fight career, or do I go and do something?
Think about life for future, yeah.
So at that stage, it was like a life thing for me.
Yep.
As well, so.
It would have been, would have been in a relationship at that time as well, right?
I've
so
been in a few since then.
Yeah, but like when you're in a relationship, it also changes where your goals go.
Yeah.
You know, like you're making decisions, I'm going to uni, I want to set up my future and all that sort of, whereas if you were single and a bit looser at the time, maybe it would have gone the other way, you know?
The other way 100%, because like I said, whatever it is that I put my mind to, I'm just driven.
Yep.
And just whatever I do. So it's just, but at the time it was uni, but still fighting.
Yep. So obviously you started under the kickboxing sort of way. Yeah. Did you fight kickboxing or did you only fight Muay Thai?
It was Muay Thai.
Okay.
But, you know, Michael Burton, my first trainer.
Yep.
He was a kickboxing base. So we actually didn't do any clinching for my first 2 fights. And I had to pretty much YouTube, I remember.
Yeah.
And then I had Steve Peach as well on the side, in between those coaches.
Yep, because he was their coaches.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
and we'd train with him in the early mornings. Again,
early mornings.
Early mornings, like.
Because that's where Stron Heart is now.
Yeah, that's where Stron Heart is right now. Yep. And Steve's kickboxing based again, Dutch style, and
How did you find? Because obviously we talked about it the other day, but you know it was always a bit of a thing, like the Thai style versus the Dutch style. When was your light bulb moment?
Yeah, so I look back at videos and it was a full kickboxing style, jumping in and out.
Yep.
And I thought that was, you know, the way to go.
Yep.
And I didn't understand. So since opening up my own gym in Ballina, which was in 2018, probably 2019, I'm like, we went to Thailand. I really wanted to like calm myself down. And again, listening to you as well and just understanding more about the sport and learning, did I then change my ways of teaching and my style. And now it's the flip side. So I actually didn't really rate the Muay Thai style to the kickboxing.
Yep.
So now it's the other way.
Yeah.
So if I see someone coming into the gym with their kickboxing style, I'm like, bro, you got to chill. You just relax.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like kickboxing works with kickboxing, right? And Muay Thai, I think I was thinking about it just today actually, like being a kickboxer fighting Muay Thai never really works. But being a Muay Thai fighter going to kickboxing can work.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't think kickboxing isn't its own style as such. You can have a little bit of this, a little bit of that in that. Whereas with Muay Thai is not just a rule set, it's a style, right? How did you start then? Did you start re-educating? Was it, okay, now I'm just going to binge watch Muay Thai and...
Yeah, look, we went to Thailand as a group in 2019.
Yep.
And I remember actually calling you or messaging you, say, hey, Ping, I'm going to Thailand to have a fight. It was my first fight.
Yes, I remember I parked on the side of the road in Semaphore. Yeah. I remember this conversation.
I'll message you, I'll call you.
Call me.
I want to fight and I want to be relaxed.
Yep. I remember this chat.
Specifically saying that to you. Because I just wanted just to chill and just, play the game.
Yeah.
And, I feel like I did, and it was a good experience. And then I guess it evolved from there.
Stop that dude with a body shot or something?
It was a body shot, but I just wanted to be relaxed rather than jumping in and out.
Yeah.
And just from there, it's evolved and evolved and evolved. And every year, one of my coaches who's been with from the beginning, he said, man, it's night and day from when you opened up the gym to now. Every year, you're just getting better and better. And that comes with, being around good gyms. Starting the officials course as well, the refereeing judges course, that's helped heaps.
Yep.
And just watching and just, learning.
Yeah, because me and Jordan spoke about it earlier with you at dinner. Like today impressed us with your guys' style.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Like, man, they look like Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah, they impressed me too. I even said it. I was very proud of them.
That's so good, and I think a lot of people get defensive about when we say what we say about, I'm pretty vocal about what I think about the kickboxing style and stuff. And man, like what you like, that's cool. But I don't think they're comparable as such, And is it like, how do I put it? Like, how should people to change their mindset? How should they be looking at it? Like, is it looking at it like, oh man, I can do better, or what? How would you suggest for people to stop looking at their kickboxing like it's the best? Man, if you're doing kickboxing and competing in kickboxing, cool, but we're talking about Muay Thai. So, how would you suggest for people to overcome that? Maybe I'll say it's like a mental barrier of thinking they can keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, look, they come into the gym all the time, and I've got one guy at the moment who's come from, I'm not going to name the gym, but he's in the Northern Rivers, and it's an MMA-based / Muay Thai gym.
Yep.
But he's got the MMA style or kickboxing style.
Yep.
And look, I do get frustrated with it, and I'm like, God, mate, this is how we do it here. Like, I know it's going to take time to change.
Yeah.
But, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. That's all I just do is I just keep reassuring them, just letting them know.
Yep.
But, those habits will pop back in.
Yeah, especially under pressure.
Yeah.
So being the Muay Thai guy around the area, like, do you find you get a lot of crossover then? Do most people come to you from scratch, or have they come from gyms where they've been doing something before?
Oh, I've got half and half. So I've got a good half where they've come from scratch and they've actually now adopted the style.
Yep. It's so much easier to train someone from scratch, hey?
It is.
I just turned someone down recently who wanted to come to my gym, who's had one fight for another gym.
Yeah.
And I honestly, for this period of time, I can't be bothered dealing with people who have got some set ways.
Yeah. It's harder than, it's definitely difficult. In my head, when they come into the gym, I'm like, okay, I'll give you a chance. But then I'm like, in the back of my head, it's like, I've just got a feeling you're not going to last here.
Yeah.
And 80% of the time they don't.
Because at the end of the day, most people want to be complimented, right? But when you're trying to and I always say, don't unlearn what you know. How about you just learn some new stuff? Keep that stuff in your memory bank. Keep that for one day, because then once you're at a pro level, maybe you can add a couple of those things in. Like a good example, like not the prettiest to watch, but Jaden Anord.
Yeah.
Like he still has a lot of that kickboxing-y stuff, right? And at that level is when you can do it. Even Chad Collins, you can do that kickboxing stuff mixed in, because you still have the Muay Thai rhythm.
Yeah.
Because you've got to learn, that's the biggest thing about Muay Thai, right? It's the rhythm.
Yeah.
I think the two biggest differences between Muay Thai and kickboxing is rhythm and defense.
Yeah.
There's a lot more defense in Muay Thai, whereas kickboxing is more trading. That's the way I look at it anyway. And then the other thing is the rhythm. That's that finding that flow, which is why we've got the music.
Yep.
Because you need to have, that's the timing of your fight.
100%.
So obviously you've got to have patience getting people from other styles. And
yeah, it's not even just the styles, it's just them as well coming and listening to another coach and the way they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't like how I am as a coach.
You're like me though. We're very similar. Like
direct.
Yeah, people who don't know me personally, I'm blunt.
Yeah.
Like if I think you look like an idiot, I'll tell you look like an idiot. If I think you're being a wanker, I'll tell you you're being a wanker.
I'm the same.
Yes, absolutely.
So in this town, you either love me or you hate me.
Yep.
It's one or the other.
Bro, my town, Adelaide, exactly the same, bro. I've got the guys who love me and they want to work with me and they want to, be involved in what we're doing. And honestly, I think that's the way to be, because like you've heard me speak about before, like that, the Muay Thai click. There's that click and people think they're being left out and stuff. No. You're leaving yourself out by not being committed to Muay Thai.
Yeah. So that commitment thing, you got to show that you're doing something for the sport, giving back in some way or another. For me, I didn't know Michael Green or a Kieran or an Andrew Parnham. I didn't know any of them. I've had to,
prove yourself.
Prove myself. Do the R&J course. I'm promoting now, and the only way, so you'll be each and every one of them, I'd randomly message or call and just say hey, and that's how the relationship started. Yep. And now those guys have been huge mentors for me in all areas, including yourself. So I try and teach that to my guys too. Like you got to be open and say hello and start a conversation.
Be willing to be like. Brandon today. Brandon's sitting behind the camera there. Brandon jumped in the corner with Greenie today. Yeah. Because Greenie asked me to jump in the corner, but I was already cornering against him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Brandon can jump. But then it ended up the second fight, which he wanted me to corner for him with. He had his other boy in it anyway, but Brandon got a corner for the first time. And that's the same sort of thing. That's where relationships start,
Yep.
I've been involved in some conversations talking about you as a ref and stuff, and people's opinion is you're arguably the best New South Wales ref right now.
Oh, jeez.
Like, as in, mainly due to you're young, you're fit, you're excited.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No one, I don't think anyone understands it as well as like Trev and Ilias, but Ilias is still, he's gone to one a lot of the time, and that sort of. Trev is. It's hard to say anything without sounding offensive. He's not too old, but like he's the master now.
Yep.
He's the teacher.
Yep.
Which is great. And your thing now, you're the young, hungry guy, and you're proving yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not just my opinion. Yeah. Like, not that those guys aren't good at their job. They're still amazing. They are. They're the guys to look to.
Yeah.
But the guy doing it right now is you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. It's not just my opinion, bro. So there's a few people saying it.
Yeah, and look, let's not get it wrong. Like Elias and Trevor are my mentors.
Yeah, man.
And
that's what SA lacks. We don't have a mentor.
Yeah, man. And and when I first moved to Ballina, I'm not trying to. Yeah, they're my mentors, and they're the best guys going around in Australia at the moment.
Most knowledge, more than anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I'm constantly learning off of them, and I can't thank them enough.
Yep.
If you know them, they're amazing guys. Amazing.
Oh,
amazing for the sport. Amazing for Muay Thai New South Wales.
Yeah, for sure, man. You're lucky to have them. It's crazy. Imagine being able to learn under guys like that is.
Yeah. Well, we just had our Ballina amateur show today, so that's why I'm still in my kit. We just finished, but we had two Queensland officials come over, up and comers, to join in on the New South Wales show.
Yep.
Just to show them and meet Elias.
Yep.
And work with Elias and Trevor, so that they can.
What was the dude's name?
Harry. So he's got potential.
Yes, man. I see that. I can see that. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
He's going to be good.
So yeah.
He's the next up and comer up in Queensland.
And that's the thing. It's like
Bronte does as well. 100% for a female as well. Like she's also, they both do.
Yeah, cool. I didn't get to see much of what she did today, but I know like one thing Queensland is struggling with is scoring. Like most of the Queenslanders thought they were ripped off today in nearly every matchup.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to that lack of education, lack of real Muay Thai being up there. But I think, like I spoke to you about with Eruption, with the judging on that and people thinking it was bad decisions and that, man, I just don't think they'd ever seen the right decisions before.
No, yeah.
And you guys doing that and upsetting a few heads is going to be the only way that, one, the guys that don't ever want to change, they stay away from the main promotions then they go off onto those other promotions that it's just like buy a belt stuff and then the people who are wanting to change or the people who already know will be on those big name shows. I think it's a huge part of every state where you have the people doing the right reffing and judging will lead the way with who goes to that show.
Yeah.
And
that's what's happening at the moment. You look at Elias, I think he's 55, Trevor's nearly 60. Professional development wise, look what they're doing. They're still developing as referees and judges.
Yeah.
They're both on one championship. They're both international referees, and they're still learning and they're evolving.
Yep.
So, that's massive.
Yeah, you never know it all. And that's the thing, it's even at 60 years of age, you've got to be learning.
Yeah.
And it's hard enough at our age, learning new things, and trying to remember. And it's harder also to gain confidence once you're over 30 because it's like, the young guys, they learn so much quicker than we do and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're obviously you prefer reffing or judging?
I prefer refereeing.
Yep.
So since retiring for the third time, it keeps me in the game and like I feel like I'm part of I'm in centre ring, so.
This is what I try and say to people. You don't have to be a fighter to be deeply involved in the sport.
No.
And being deeply involved in the sport, getting as good as you can in your field, you're just as important as that guy fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you how I got into reffing actually. What happened? I was in Queensland watching a fight show and one of my girl fighters was on. And again, this can happen to any ref. It's happened to me before.
Yep.
Where you call the break, but then there's a flying spinning elbow that pops up out of nowhere. And he actually landed on and fractured an orbital and the fight had to be stopped.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that on Infliction? Yeah, I remember that.
And in my head, and even just watching the rest, I'm like, man, I can do so much better than these guys. Just as a whole in general, doesn't matter what show it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. And I knew that I could do a better job. So I wanted to do...
Because you've now refed on infliction as well, right?
Yeah, so that's how I start. So actually Nick Atkins just let me... I started my first refereeing roles on the Wannabe Kickboxing.
On the Wannabe Kickboxing, yeah.
So I started on that.
I remember your face just popping up on the pictures going, how the fuck did this happen?
Right? So Nick's a good friend. We've known each other for a while. And yeah, he just gave me... I think we had 10 guys on his show, and he go, I just asked if I could ref, and he said, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So it started from there. And then there was an officials course in Canberra. Elias was doing it, and yeah, man, that was it.
Yeah,
that was a year and a half ago.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. So,
really?
Yeah, so again, since that year and a half, I've just been pumping.
Oh man, like you haven't stopped, bro.
I fly myself to Sydney. So this is the other thing. It's like you have to pay your way.
It's like being an amateur fighter, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Until you've earned your name, then it's like being a pro fighter. You don't get paid that much. No. It doesn't cover the costs.
No.
But it's being involved. It's being important.
Yeah, it shows you love it and you want to do it.
Yeah. Because it's not about being king turd of the shit parade, you know. It's about being part of bigger things, you know.
Yeah.
So you obviously transition kickboxing to Muay Thai. Yeah. You're saying that the reffing and judging helped with that as well, obviously with the education that came with that. I can't believe it's only been a year and a half.
Yeah.
How many fight shows do you reckon you've reffed on then? Reffed and judged on?
30, 40.
Man, that's
overall?
Yeah, that's pretty hectic.
Maybe.
That's a lot.
Probably.
Because you did Muay Thai. Did you do Muay Thai Vic as well? That one with the...
I did once, yeah.
Yeah, the one with the New South Wales versus the Victoria
show.
show.
I only judged. I did one ref, but I had broken my foot just to at that stage, so I was just judging.
Yep.
But I think I told you I'm making my debut.
Yeah, man.
I guess I can say I'm making my debut judging role on Rebellion Muay Thai next weekend.
Yeah, man, that's sick.
Yeah, so
man, and a lot of people have been recommending
for this.
Si. Yeah. A lot of people have been recommending for you to be on there. Like it's.
Well, they're dropping my name. I'm even hounding. I've been hounding Si for this is the thing. See, I've been hounding Si for 6 months. I remember starting my referee role, and I think I did my first pro show, and I was pumped. And I messaged Si. You don't know this, but I messaged Si, and I'm like, Si, you're gonna have no choice but to put me on your show soon. And I've still got the message. Right?
Nice.
So here we are.
Yeah, man. And no matter what part of Muay Thai you're in, Rebellion should be your pinnacle, right? Like, should be 100%. Not your pinnacle, but it should in the country.
Yeah.
It's the biggest promotion, and me as a trainer being on it was amazing.
Yeah.
Having fighters on it. Obviously, I was well and truly retired before that show even started. So as a fighter, it could never have been a thing for me. But as a trainer, being on that it's the ultimate goal,
you
know?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to get your fighter on, you want to fight on it, and to officiate is the same.
Yep.
So for me, I'm stoked. Yeah.
So, and that's sick, man. I'm really happy I'm going to get to hang out with you again next weekend. So let's go to how you transitioned into being a trainer from being a fighter. Obviously, you still fought after being a trainer already, but how did the trainer thing start for you with Stron Heart?
No.
Okay.
So I was with Michael Burton, my first coach at St. Clair Recreation.
Yeah.
And he used to not show up to classes. And so I was the most senior guy.
Yeah.
So he would, he wouldn't never show up. We wouldn't know why. So there'd be like 15 people in class. I'd be like, okay, I'll take the class.
Yep.
So, I had my footy experience then. So I thought, and I was...
Yeah, and you had to control the group and you...
Okay, guys, let's go. And then from there, he wasn't showing up more and more. So it'd be me taking the class, and then he went... We don't know where he went. He went AWOL.
Yep.
And it was me taking over. So then I opened up a 3-day-a-week gym at St. Clair and was running that myself.
Oh, right. I never knew that bit. That was while I was still away then, right?
Yeah, so this is how Stron Heart was started. Jordan was training with me with Steve Peach as well in the mornings.
Yep.
Jordan said this story as well before.
Yep.
But yeah, he goes, and then one day we were waiting in the car park with Steve, and he's like, I want to open up my own gym, Spiro. And I said, look, why don't you take over what I'm doing at St. Clair? Because I was studying nursing. I said, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You take over, just let me be one of your coaches. So then he took over, Stron Heart started, and I was teaching 2 days a week, 3 days a week.
Because I remember my introduction to you guys doing Stron Heart was Duts sent me a video of Jordan and you training together.
Yeah.
And he's like, who's this guy? Like asking who Jordan was. And obviously Jordan had only just come to Adelaide from Sydney.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, they're doing like a gym or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
And then obviously stuff started popping up a little bit more often. Then, man, it wasn't long after that Jordan started training with me. But yeah, right. That was, you were sort of thrown into it then, right?
Pretty much.
And then that's probably another reason why you couldn't have had as many fights either, because you were all of a sudden the boss man for a period of time. And so then...
And like looking back, it's like, what did I didn't really know much, but I guess I knew the basics,
Yep.
you know, from what I was taught and what I thought would work. You know, I had my fitness background, you know, with my footy and...
Yep.
But really, I didn't know nothing.
Because you were running the Punch Fit courses and
that's
stuff?
That's how Nick Atkins was my boss. He used to work he was the manager at Punch Fit. So then they contacted me, so I was the state representative of teaching the Punch Fit lessons.
Yep.
That's how I...
Because I only knew about that from Brett. Brett Ebert.
Oh, yeah. He did a course with me.
He did,
Yeah, so that's, again...
He brought it up with me one day because I was talking about Muay Thai, and they goes, oh, you know, Spiro? I'm like, of course I know Spiro. Yeah.
So, you know, I was running Punch Fit sessions on how to hold pads and gloves for newly certified PTs.
Brett started coming to the fight shows, the Muay Thai shows. Yeah. He started coming to, like, Pride and stuff because he knows Carly's sister's husband or something.
Oh, Binny.
Yeah.
Rugolo.
Yeah. So he comes. Yeah. He comes to the shows now and stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So again, you just don't know what doors will open.
100%. Like don't be a piece of shit because the doors will close pretty quickly.
Yeah, man. So that's why my hashtag at the gym when I do post is just say yes. Just do it.
Yep.
You know, and the another saying, you know, Josh Itzkovich.
Yep.
They both, him and Jordan. I wasn't going to fight in Thailand, and that they said to me, you regret what you don't do, not what you do.
Yeah.
And that just flicked.
Yeah, man. No one ever regrets the things they said yes to, unless it's totally ridiculous. But anything that's like a challenge in life, man.
Yeah, it's gonna make you grow, man.
Yeah, bro, 100%. And let's get on to that subject, I guess. Like, how do you feel Muay Thai has helped you develop as a human? Like, okay, let's go this far. How do you feel it's helped you develop as a father? Because you're obviously a doting father.
Yeah.
How do you think Muay Thai has helped with that?
I'm still a cunt of a coach.
I'm like, so am I, bro.
If I had Lauren, my partner here, she'd say you're a cunt. But they still love me. It's funny because, you know, you saw Alex there today and Mark.
Yeah.
They're my most loyal.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of loyal members. And they know that I'm a cunt, but they know deep down.
But they also know it's because you love them and you care.
Right. That's right.
This is the thing where people get offended about shit, and I talked about it on the podcast with Sam. Like, I'll have a Barney with someone. Like, I had a Barney with Sam. I was in there the next day to make sure that I showed my face and show that I still love and respect him. Like, if I have a Barney with someone, doesn't mean I hate them. It doesn't mean that I'm pissed off at them outside of the gym. It's only just in that situation.
Yeah.
And people obviously aren't as tough as they used to be.
No.
So they get offended that little bit easier. And they don't know how to deal with, because there's so much stuff done behind a phone now, they don't know how to deal face to face with people. Yeah. But obviously with Muay Thai, obviously within 8 fights you don't get to see it as much, but the resilience that you gain from all those fight preps when shit's a mess, and even the resilience you gain now from putting, say, Mark through a fight prep and things not going perfect, and he's got the emotional roller coaster plus the weight cut coming up plus this plus that. What's your proudest moment as a trainer so far? Because you can say there's no way people can feel left out by not being named as being the proudest moment.
I'd say, definitely having Mark on the Roots show.
Yep.
The Rebellion Roots show.
Yep.
Like we said earlier, it's a pinnacle. He's not on the Rebellion, but he's on the undercard.
Yeah, man.
For me, that's probably been the biggest highlight.
Yeah, cool.
And now he's just developing now as a fighter, even more so.
Man, beating Orono, man, that was huge.
Yeah, and he's learning more every day too. So all your podcasts that we listen to, yours and the Muay Thai Hour.
Yep.
I make Mark and the guys coming up listening to those podcasts because you learn so much from it. You don't understand. And it actually saves me from repeating myself.
Because do you know what, man? Big thing is being the boss man and being a boss man who tells it how it is.
Yeah.
They get defensive and they put a guard up.
Yeah.
So hearing it from someone else's voice, your thoughts through someone else's voice, man.
And you being a high up there as well is even better, like someone who's respected. And
man, you made me have a bit of a blushing moment earlier when you said, like, when I rocked up to the gym yesterday and Alex saw me. He loves it.
He's
just a good boy,
He's gonna love this.
Yeah, cool.
Alex.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, just a good boy, and I didn't know that he was like an avid listener and shit.
Yeah. He was my very first member.
Yeah.
Started on the back deck of my house. We did a little. He's not shy from telling this, but he's come from a drug background.
Yep.
But cleaned up his life. He's now one of my coaches. He's been with me since 2018.
That's cool.
Loyal as legend of a bloke.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And like doing the referee and judging stuff now.
So now he's doing the officials.
That's so cool, man.
He's accredited as well.
Yeah.
He was official.
You had no idea until today.
You didn't?
Nah.
Yeah, he's clear.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, he just loves the judging though. He doesn't want the reffing, but mate, he's there.
Yeah, sick, man. Man, and that's the thing. You don't have to be doing both. More people want to do the reffing bit than they do the judging bit. I reckon. Like, I think more people. It's the exciting bit. Yeah. It's the being just the judge is a lot more thankless.
Judging is harder.
Yeah. There's a lot more at stake, I guess, because as a ex-fighter and stuff, being a ref, I guess, is just second nature because you know how
the play, you know where everything's going.
Yeah. Whereas as a judge on an amateur show, not so much, but on a pro show, like someone's career can change from what decision you made. Like they've gone from being a world title contender to no longer being. Yes,
and then you've got the corners or the team cracking.
Yeah, abusing you for this and that.
Giving you the looks, if the decision hasn't gone their way, but that comes with the territory. You got to be a bit hard skinned with the officials. R&J.
Yep. So let's go back a bit, and when you first started taking over from Michael Burton.
Yep.
Did you have anyone fight for you then?
Josh Itzkovich was my first fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that was under Stron Heart.
Yeah.
So he started with me.
Yep.
But then Stron Heart had opened.
Because him and Isaac were both with you,
his
right?
brother Isaac was with me. But then I don't know if Josh came while Stron Heart was on, but yeah, he was our first fighter, Jordan and I, or myself at the time.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Josh Itzkovich.
I can't remember when he had his first fight.
I think that was, sorry Josh, I think it was in Whyalla.
Was it around the same time that like Luke Dumont had his first and stuff?
Yeah, I think it was, but Josh was first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would been then Nick would have been the other one around then.
Yeah, Nick Keros was there. So I remember when I started coaching when Jordan and Stron Heart opened. Nick was 14 years old, and and I had my specific classes Mondays, Wednesdays, I think, and they were full Dutch style classes because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
So it was a mixture. We had Jordan's Muay Thai and my Dutch style. So Keros came to all my Dutch styles, so he loved it, and he's still doing some of the moves that I taught him then, which were all from Steve Peach anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Which is how a lineage works, right? Yeah. And like I said earlier, you don't ditch that stuff when you learn the new stuff. No. You put it in your memory bank and you keep it there, and you add new stuff.
Add new stuff or tweak it a bit.
Yeah. See, I try not to teach adjustments, I try and teach it as a totally new thing.
Yeah.
That way, there's people, oh my God, I've got all these bad habits. I've got these habits. I've got this stuck in my head, No, this is something new. Yeah. Forget about that bit for now. Yeah. This is a totally different kick or whatever, whatever it is. So now, gym owner.
Yeah. Moved from Adelaide, came to Ballina.
Yeah, let's go to that. Let's do that bit. When was the move?
Yeah, 2018. Yeah, just
even that feels like so much longer ago than
2017, maybe. Yeah. 2017.
Yeah.
I was into yoga. I had stopped Muay Thai for a year and a half, and I was fully into yoga.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, went to Thailand for a full 6-week yoga retreat. Did that, came back, and then did a 2-week course in Byron, but it was a yoga surfing course. Right, so you do some yoga, but you get to do surfing. So I'd never done surfing, so then
it's the best day.
I jumped when I did the lesson. I'm like, that's it. I'm selling my house and I'm moving here. And it was like a sick day, weather. I'm like, this is awesome. So I sold my house. Honestly, I went to auction, got what I wanted. The next day, I rang up my mum. I said, Mum, I'm driving to Byron now. Whatever's left in the garage, you can do whatever you want with it.
Because I think that's how I remember it. It was like, I remember you saying you were thinking about moving to, or you were going to move here or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're gone. Yeah.
Because I was nursing in the emergency department for a few years. Then it was full stressing me out.
Yeah.
Anxiety, just.
Just emergency departments. Where were you?
Full
QEH.
QEH. Yeah. Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. I can see that from my front door.
Really?
Yeah, I can see the hospital. Yeah.
And work was just insane, and I'm like, nah, I need a change. So just sold.
Because that's a bad hospital to be at because of the mental health thing. They had like a pretty major mental health section there, right?
But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that. It was just the night shifts and then the stress and then old wenches from 20 years ago.
And an old hospital with shit missing and shit broken and thing. And it was so outdated.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have seen the new bit yet, eh?
No.
I went in there for the first time the other day to pick up one of my guys. He's back from Thailand for a month. Yeah. Oh, Damo, have you met? You haven't met Damo? No. So he's been back for a month and had to have a small surgery on his ankle, and that was the first time I've been into the new bit. So it's all right, yeah, it's a hospital.
I've got heaps of guy nurses that are still there working.
Yeah.
Still keep in touch with.
Yeah.
But that was my little era of nursing.
So then you just took off up to here?
Yeah, came up here. I knew I was going to find a job as a nurse anyway, because they're everywhere, and started working in aged care.
Yep.
I was in Byron for 6 months, and I think wasn't doing yoga, and then touched base with Byron Muay Thai at the stage. Yep. And I'm like, nah, it was just, I just wanted to do my own thing. And then I needed to buy a house, came to Ballina, Googled Muay Thai in Ballina, there was none. I went, I'm going to open up a gym. And that was
crazy, price difference, Byron Bay here. But also, Byron Bay's just got so many twats.
In Byron, it's a transient area. You've got a lot of
blow-ins
coming from, blow-ins.
Blow-ins, yeah. And it's like the fake hippies, fake...
It's really like that.
Yeah.
And it got to me a bit.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But especially when, whatever you do, you go balls to the wall with it, and do it properly. Yeah. So it's you're in a place where people are acting like they're someone else or something else for 5 minutes, and...
It was good when you were there, but 6 months, I needed to go.
Yeah. So you rocked up in Ballina, started a Muay Thai gym.
Yeah, started in a hall.
Okay, yep.
How did it start?
I remember the photos and shit now. Yeah.
So in a girl guides hall.
I forgot about that. So
we had to put the mats down, take them up, put them down. That was it. We were there for about a year. And then just found a warehouse, and that's it.
Yeah. So how long you've been 5 years now, whatever, where you are now?
Probably 4 years, yeah.
Yep.
In the warehouse.
Yep. How do you find, does it help, does it work financially for you, the gym? Little bit of...
It's more of a lifestyle than so the lifestyle is magnificent as a gym coach.
Yep.
Fortunately for me, my partner, she's got a good job as well.
Yep.
So I'm like the stay-at-home dad.
Yep.
But
so, on that, do you think once Sammy goes to school that you'll start doing more PTs, more.
You know, I don't do any PTs.
So I don't either.
Yeah.
Like I rarely I do.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking now, like, man, most days I've got free time.
Yeah. I've got free time every day.
Yeah, like, but not really because you're a dad. You got your boy. You know what I mean?
Daycare 4 days a week.
Okay. Like, because I'm thinking now, like, I'm gonna start doing PTs again. Yeah. I know a lot of it does my head in.
It does mine too.
Yeah. So, but I've also since I stopped doing them is when I started doing more my class stuff where not like it used to always be everyone's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've sort of taken it to as long as everyone's getting an overview of what I'm trying to teach, I'm way more comfortable with it now. Yeah. Whereas it used to be like everyone could be a fighter.
Yeah.
And everyone should want to be that good. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking now I could probably do the PTs without getting my back up.
Yeah.
Because what do you want out of it? Okay, you want to, if they're just coming in to go kick, punch, I'm probably going to handball them onto one of the other guys who need the money a little bit more than I do.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But if they just want to, they want to learn Muay Thai and make some changes and stuff, cool.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm thinking I'm probably going to start. I've really been thinking about it of late, maybe just last couple of weeks. I did put up an old advert recently. I pumped it back up in my story going, anyone want to do PTs with me or whatever.
Do you say that now, but then when it comes to the PT time, you're like, fuck?
Nah, because I'm also, we're similar like that. Like if I can't be fucked training someone, I'll just tell them.
Yeah.
I'll make them pay for a 10-pack, and after the 10-pack, I go, sorry man, not for me. and I've had people, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
And man, if they don't like it, they don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your feelings are your problem, really. Like, if my opinion is my opinion. My opinion is I don't really enjoy training you.
Yeah.
So if that bothers them, then cool, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll find someone else who is willing to do it, or maybe one of the other guys from the gym will take over or whatnot,
Yeah.
I'm happy to do whatever that way, but I generally, if I've got someone who I'm training, I'm generally totally cool with it,
Yeah.
Like, only thing I worry about is 'cause I get migraines.
Yeah.
Like when I get a migraine, I'm going to can it and...
Yeah. The other thing, do you get your tendonitis in both your arms? I've got real bad tendonitis.
My elbows hurt for the first round while I'm warming up.
Yeah.
Once I'm warm, even holding for Brandon, who's 57 kilos, my elbows will hurt. And then after the first round, I'm fine.
Yeah. See, I've made the decision to only hold for for Mark, and now coming through we've got Corey.
Yep.
So only the good guys. And even then when I hold for them, my arms are cooked the next day. So I just save it for them.
Yep.
And I handball my PTs onto Mark, who needs the money, or, one of the other coaches.
Yep. Do you do much weights and stuff? Like,
yeah, I've got to do something.
Yeah, I'm the same. Without weights, I can't hold pads.
Yeah. Oh, it's like just doing something. Now I'm not doing Muay Thai anymore. I've got my knees a little bit bunged.
Yeah.
I've got to do something.
Yeah.
I can't run, so I'm lifting.
Yeah, I miss running.
Yeah.
I can't run either anymore. Yeah. I loved it because I hated it. Yeah. You get what I mean? Like, it was such a challenge for me mentally that's why I did it so much.
Yeah. See, I've been doing it since the AFL days.
Yeah, true.
And it's just like, nah.
And have you always incorporated, like, through your, not just Muay Thai, kickboxing, but also through your footy, did you incorporate a lot of strength and conditioning stuff? You've always done strength and conditioning?
Also the running aspect of it all.
Okay.
Because I remember when I was fighting, so like, when I fought Lex was like, man, you've now made me a better fighter after that first fight, knowing what he needed. And he came in fit.
Yeah.
And he always was fit.
Yeah,
every fight.
super fit.
But, I was fitter, and because of my background,
yeah,
I was running ridiculous amounts. And that was just part of mine. I couldn't go through a day without running. So that helped me. So I know what it's going to do for the fighters.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether it be interval type training or long distance or whatever it may be. But
yeah, because I hated running, especially the long stuff. I hated running so much that I made it a major part of my training because of the resilience that I built up from it.
Yeah.
That mental toughness of I'm getting through something that I absolutely hate, and I'm doing it because I have to do it, and I'm going to get the benefits. And then sometimes we're in a fight and things are just going shit.
Yeah.
That's what gets you over the line.
100%.
And this is why I say to people, like, put yourself through the punishment.
Yes.
punish yourself in the gym, make it hard, make yourself so uncomfortable in the gym that when shit gets shit in the fight. That's why I'm so hard on my guys in the gym, because I don't think anything in a fight could break a fighter as much as I can break them.
No, nothing. You've probably heard this or you're aware of it, but Steve Peach was well known for that, breaking you down.
Yeah, man.
1 hour every session in front of that mirror, in one spot, punching the air, and Steve was just renowned for that.
Yep.
And man, if you wanted to be a tough fighter or resilient and mentally tough, he was the dude at that time.
Yeah, for sure. I remember doing a couple of his sessions.
Charles August was there.
Yeah. Alan Walkington,
yeah.
Anthony Cox.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Coxie was good.
Yeah, so many people. Man, he's got a couple of good up and comers coming through now. He's got one lad who had moved over from another gym to him, big, tall, 6'6" lad. Yeah. He's coming through. Then he's got this young lad coming up through who's, but he's fought on Muay Vic and he's fought in Adelaide, and every fight there's improvement there. And because he's a kid, he's got more time to get better as well. Yeah, Anthony's doing really good, man. Good.
But yeah, man, I still do some of Steve Peach's sessions in my gym. Just randomly, I'll just bring it in.
I remember doing some because remember when he was at Fight Club, when he was doing it at Fight Club?
No.
Okay, so he was in Fight Club on a Sunday morning for a while. Yeah, and I did a few of them, and oh man, that first hour of warm up, because it's similar. Wongi does similar. Wongi does a similar sort of warm up to and it's horrendous, bro. Man. Horrendous when you're doing like squat, then holding halfway, then pulse, oh man, then same in push-up position, and then like crazy ab workouts before you've even started thinking about kicking and punching. Yeah. And I always struggled with my fitness because of having chronic fatigue syndrome. So doing those sessions was just brutal for me, hey? Yeah. And then when I came back to Australia and Fight Club had shut down, I was going to Flinders, and it's the same sort of beginning. Yeah.
So it was the same. I guess they were all in the same era. Those guys, weren't they?
Yeah, like
So Steve taught out of J&A, Judging Notice. Was Alan Wong around doing them? Then?
Yeah, he already had. Flinders is 44, 45 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a 40-year get together at Flinders for.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And of course, people like Ethan were like, "Why is Pinky in the photo?" Like, man, like when I came back to Australia, I'm gay because Sam wasn't running Fight Club and didn't have the gym anymore. Man, I wanted to be a trainer somewhere, and I was still fighting when I first came back for holidays, like 2011, when I came and trained with you guys at Michael's and that. I was pretty much training flat out at Flinders. I was there for all 3 sessions of the week at Flinders and hitting pads, holding pads, doing the lot. I was still fighting. I had after that was when I had my last fights. Yeah. And Wongi just recently put up a thing in like their in-house group, in-house page on Facebook, and he's just been listing off all the trainers and the most experienced guys in the gym and who's around, and he put one up about me. I didn't think he would because I don't get there anymore, And he says like Pinky was never a real like Flinders Uni member, but he adopted us and we adopted him. Yeah. And he's like, he said like he's like my son, and what he's done, he's helped my guys, and like you said, you don't agree with everything I do and say, but we respect each other.
Yeah, that was more so in the beginning with the kickboxing era.
Okay.
You were the more Muay Thai.
Yeah.
It was that, but now it's just like everything you say I align. Most things you say I align with.
Yeah.
And that's
because where was that? Because one was you did a post somewhere or you wrote something and you said like I don't agree with things that Pinky says, but
what did I say? What was it about?
I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And me being me, I was like, oh yeah, cool.
Isn't it funny when you look back at your posts, you cringe? I look
sometimes.
Yeah. So I'll probably look at that if you showed me, and I'll be like. Oh,
but also, like, do you know what I used to? But for me, I'm like, oh well, that's what I thought at the time.
Yeah, that's right.
And I pretty much own everything I say, and I don't have a lot of regrets. It's pretty. So, I know we've spoken, you know, like never going to promote again. I'm not gonna, no more fighters. I've heard it all from you, bitching and whinging. Honest, from the heart, where do you see yourself going with Muay Thai?
With Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'll be doing forever. I know that.
Yes,
I'm not going back to another job.
No.
I've said to my partner as well, I said, there's no way I'm going back to a job.
And you're like, we've said, you're lucky, bro. You got a good one.
Yeah.
And so am I.
Yeah.
Like I'm never home.
Nah.
And sometimes she'll just ask for me to stay home.
Yeah.
And then I know it must be borderline getting, like, she's about to lose her shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously
Yeah, so Muay Thai is going to be with me forever.
the refereeing and judging, the gym.
Yeah. So my driving force at the moment is refereeing and judging.
Yep.
I'm going to take that as far as I can.
Yep.
While I still can. I'm promoting as well, so we've just done our 3rd show. This is, again, it's just like
Fourth
my fight
coming
career. I remember my first fight, I'll never fight again, that's it. Second, same thing. I feel like it's the same pattern.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I've heard you say it for 3 shows now that you're not doing another one.
Yeah, look, I'm happy now, but in the lead up, it's very stressful, and I'm always saying that this is it. But I feel good at the moment.
What do you find, what's the most stressful part about it?
Yeah, I think it was establishing myself as a new promoter.
Yeah.
And because we're regional, I guess an hour from the Queensland border, and we're in the middle of, inner Sydney.
Yeah.
There's no real gyms around us.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
you either have to fly in from Sydney,
yeah,
or drive in from the Gold Coast, and they have fight shows on every weekend. Why would they come to my show when they've
where they actually have to get a medical and they actually have to be registered and yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to establish myself first as, a reputable guy,
Yep.
I probably came in and most people were like, who's this Spiro dude? Like, who is he? So I built my name, I guess, through the R&J side first, and then through my fighters, and slowly, we started on an Ian Bronson's show.
Yep.
As its place, we were there, my first few fighters, then we built up, and then my name out, and Jim's name out. And yeah, I just had to prove myself. I'm not just another cowboy.
Yep.
I'm doing the right things.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was scared about getting fighters into the show.
Yep.
To come to my show.
Yep. So what did you find this time? What was the most stressful part of this one?
The same thing.
Okay.
Because the month of August in Queensland, they had a show on every weekend, if not maybe 2 shows.
Fuck.
So it was like, how they're going to come to my show, are they? So I was stressed about that. And getting enough fighters for the show.
But you're obviously very closely linked to the Queensland thing because it's the closest options for you to fight as well. And you're noticing the difference in there's really becoming like a real Muay Thai crew there now, right?
So there are a couple of gyms up there at the moment who are adopting and all can see, the direction that
they're going through the same development thing you went through where you started changing to Muay Thai because, Queensland's famous for kickboxing with elbows.
Yeah. And look, I started in Queensland. I didn't know any different until I did move to New South Wales, I did the course, I started looking and educating and being part of the New South Wales shows.
Yep.
Still being part of the Queensland shows and stepping back out now, it's night and day. With New South Wales, Queensland.
Yep.
They all know that. That's how I feel, and that's how it is for me. Anyway, I can see it. So there's a couple of gyms up there at the moment who are adopting, or so they're bringing up New South Wales refereeing and judges to mix with their shows.
Yep.
Which is a great start.
100%.
We got Double Dose up there who are doing some good things, or was it Muay Thai League?
Yep.
So it's a slow process.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got a busy fight team now. Like you had a pile on there today. Can you see most of those guys continuing on with it? Can you think they're going to keep fighting?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple in there for sure, 100%. They've got the potential and they can. But a lot of the guys in there were just trying just to tick it off the box.
Yep.
But who knows? You look at Corey, our main event today. He lost his first 4 or 5 fights. And now it's just flipped. And he's only 19. Honestly, he's just flicked the switch and he's come out of nowhere. I'm so proud of that.
He'll be an ex-pro, you reckon?
Yeah, he's going to turn pro on the next fight. He's opening up Muay Thai League.
Oh, is he?
For the main card.
Oh, nice. Nice, man. Yeah, sick.
So that'll be his first pro fight.
Yeah, knows how to wear a head kick and knows how to come back.
Yeah, loves his elbows. So he's fighting against a guy from Spain's gym again, walk forward, elbow. Yeah. So it's going to be an elbow war. So it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, sick. Oh, that's killer.
Yeah.
Do you stress out about the newbies, the new guys that are having their first fights, first, second, third fights?
I used to, but now I just chuck them in.
Yeah, sweet, because that's obviously, we've had that chat a lot of times as well, like even to the point where I've gone to the point now with my amateurs that, man, they generally rub themselves down, they put a bit of oil on their arms and that. I'll just push the air out of their stomach.
Yeah.
I rock up out the back today. Brandon's put his own shin guards on, his own elbow pads on.
Yep.
Just need a hand under the laces of the gloves for me to put them on for him.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that was a process too. Like, again, I'm learning that off of you over the years. But opening up a new gym, you want to have your fighters win.
Yeah.
You want to get.
But you get over invested into people who might not be as invested as you are.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts hurting, and that's where it starts upsetting you.
Yes.
And that was me for sure as a trainer.
Me too.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, I've got a bit of a thing now. Like, I've got a 14-week process. I don't know if you heard me talk about that yet. The 14-week process to get into the fight team. Only because I'm sick of it being too easy for them, and then leaving is just as easy as it was to come in there. So there's that, but then there's also, until you get to your 5th amateur fight, I don't really do much for you at all.
Yeah, I adopted that off you too.
Yeah. Now you get to your 5th one. All right, I'll start holding some pads for maybe once a week or something.
Yeah.
Hold some pads for you. I'll get a couple of the other guys to hold for you, and I'll start giving you a little bit more info. Before then, it's on you to learn as quick as you can.
Yeah.
And that way, man, it doesn't hurt as much as them when they quit. Because a lot of them do. Yeah. Most of them do. When you look at numbers, man, it's not like everyone goes on to have 50 fights. It's not like most go even on to have 10.
Yeah.
Is Mark your only one with 10?
Nah, he's on 8, the same as me. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fuck, he's another one who I feel has just fought so much,
So you think about, he fought with Rono, he had 6 fights.
Who was his last one?
Yeah, Rono.
So it was his 7th. Yeah, that was his 8th. Yeah. Was that his last fight?
That was his 6th or 7th. Yeah, I don't even know. It's around 6 or 7 fights he's had.
Wow.
Maybe it's 8. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would have to be.
Yeah, it's 8.
Because he's had.
So he was 7 when he fought Rono. Because he hasn't fought after Rono, has he? No, that was it.
Is he? What's he got next then? He's got.
I don't know if I should say.
No, don't yet. Don't say it yet. Yeah.
But it's on 1774 in October.
Yeah, sick. So I'll be there for that as well. Yeah. Another suit.
Yeah, and then another good promotion, another good promoter.
Oh,
Michael Green.
Yeah, Michael Green, Aram.
Yeah, Aram.
Yeah, man, like good guys, man.
Yeah, man. Michael's helped me from promoting. I remember ringing out Michael. I know we're changing subject here, but he helped me with my first promotion so much. I
remember this. Yeah.
I used to call him. I never knew the bloke. I'd call him and ask him to help me, and then he's been so good.
Yeah, man. Genuine guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. They're both really good guys, man, and happy to put on a show that everyone's wanting to watch.
Yep.
And man,
where were we?
Oh. No, we're pretty much getting to the end of that subject of what we're talking about Mark with. Last week we were talking about was Mark's record, like how many fights Mark had and whatnot. And let's leave it at that for tonight.
Yeah.
It's getting late, and you've got life to get on with tomorrow morning.
Yep.
As we all do, I've got to get up and get to the airport and get home. Make sure I've got 5 hours in Sydney tomorrow. But I want to thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us up here.
Yep.
Like, honestly, I've been in all 3 now, man, and this was cool. Yeah. This was a cool one. Yeah, I've had a great time every trip, but this show was definitely the best one yet. And that's what happens when you back it up and you start learn from the last one, get on the next one.
Yeah, always.
So yeah, man, I'd always be keen to be here, and if it fits into the budget and whatnot, then I hope that I'll be at every show that you've ever got. So
thank you, my man.
And awesome with the referee and judging. I'll see you again next weekend at Rebellion. It's going to be a killer show, so make sure you tune into that. That'll be live combat sports, road to RWS. It's not a traditional Rebellion show. It's going to go everything from amateurs all the way through to like high level Rebellion fights. Some amazing fights on the card. You'll see your man here, Spiro, judging ringside, looking all handsome and shit. So I want to thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. And next episode next Thursday. So, ขอบคุณครับ